Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Jay Parm again. In today's video, it's going to be a little different. I'm kind of going on a rant here, but as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Black Ops 7, the COD Next event, the current closed beta, and the open beta that's going to be coming out on Sunday, and maybe a little bit about how Battlefield 6 is coming out on October 10th, and kind of what that all looks like right now with Call of Duty. And it just feels like a good moment to compare where these franchises stand potentially. So, I mean, let's start with COD Next. Honestly, to me, that event was a complete failure. The first thing we can point out, obviously, is what everyone's talking about, and it's the moment with Mr. Dalek JD with one of the Activision employees that was constantly, you need to get on Verdansk. We miss you.
Come join us in Verdansk. We miss you. We need you. I have not finished the full game of zombies. I will play Verdansk once I've played my 30 minutes of zombies.
What was that? Right? Dalek is there as a fucking zombie YouTuber. Like, what are we even doing? He barely got to play it at all, and they already had it to where he could only play a certain amount of rounds or a certain amount of time, and they didn't even have that much of the map. But it's like, why even show off zombies if you're just like, we are Activision and we want to see this small little highlight of it? It just doesn't make sense. It's weird and it's embarrassing, especially with how that was presented. I mean, also, you literally have people falling asleep while playing zombies.
Yo, pick me up.
I'm not entirely sure if it was from boredom of the game or because they were tired from traveling, but who knows? As for the multiplayer, though, I mean, it looks like Black Ops 6, right? From what they showed, which is, what it's going to look like in a month. I can't imagine too much is going to change. But the overall showcase, to me, it didn't even feel like a showcase. It felt like Activision had a checklist and they were just wanting to highlight things. And that was it. Even the creators themselves didn't even seem all that into it. The ones even there for multiplayer, they're showing off the score streaks and they're showing off, the guns, and someone even got a nuclear, and you have that one sniper score streak that everyone's talking about that they need to remove because, oh my God, if I'm 1 kill away from my nuclear and I get shot through the wall by a sniper from across the map, I'm going to lose it. As for the event itself, though, like, it was just boring. And to go back to the whole Dalek thing, it's almost like the same thing that happened with the Black Ops 6 COD Next event that happened last year, right? He was playing the game, he was enjoying himself, on Liberty Falls, and then he got kicked off, but no one else seemed to. It was it almost was like only because he was a zombie YouTuber, right? But that's why you had him there. That's why you brought him at the end of the day. That's really all there is to say about COD Next, because it was such a nothing burger, to be honest with you. But we can maybe talk a little bit about the creator reactions to it all, and the commentary that I'm seeing. And once again, I haven't played it yet. I did not pre-order the game. I'm going to be waiting to play it just like everyone else who didn't pre-order it on Sunday, if you are interested, for the open beta to see what it's like. But, what I'm hearing from a lot of the creators, you have some that are hyping it up like it's the best COD ever, because they're like, please, Daddy Activision, please invite me to events still. I want to make sure that I'm invited, blah, 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 right? It just felt completely forced. But then you have some that are giving valid feedback, but also trying to be positive about it. They're saying that the movement feels good, and cutting out tac sprint was probably a good idea. And the wall jumping and bouncing feels pretty smooth. And as always with Call of Duty, the gunplay feels fine. But even with the positives that they're saying, the main takeaway is always, this just feels like Black Ops 6 again. But we always knew that was going to be the case, because Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 were developed side by side. And, from, what I've seen on, Twitter and from other people, is that this is the last COD that is going to be in what was the revision of the engine in 2019 for Modern Warfare. If that's the case, I mean, that feels pretty good. And, the more that this info comes out, it seems more and more people are willing to skip out on this year's Call of Duty. I was always a COD kid, to be, open with you all. the only COD I ever skipped was Call of Duty Vanguard, and we all know why that was. I know most of my friends skipped out on that one, and outside of the fatigue of World War II, the movement, the time to just a plethora of reasons as to why my interest for that one wasn't there and why I didn't pick it up. Am I going to pick up this one? I don't know yet, to be honest with you. I'd have to see on Sunday when I play in the open beta. Back to what the creators were saying, it's just everyone is just saying that it just feels like the leftovers. And once again, that makes sense because of it being made in tandem with Black Ops 6 and with it being, allegedly the last COD in this version of the engine. They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it that they had left over. It's why it looks like the roadmap has so many maps. It's just things that they were going to throw in that were remakes of Black Ops 2 maps and other Black Ops games that are going in, and maybe some new maps as well that just never hit the cutting room floor for previous CODs over the years made by Treyarch. And it just feels like a dumping ground. And it's also why people are calling it a $70 DLC, just like how it felt with Modern Warfare 2 going to Modern Warfare 3. We all said when Modern Warfare 2 went into Modern Warfare 3 that, it's pretty much the same game, but there's some movement changes and a little bit different of gun feel, and maybe the time to kill is different. Those small tweaks can make a difference, but still, for $70, is it all worth it? I don't know. Unfortunately, you're going to have to be the decider for that one. But then we kind of get into this like COD dilemma, which I feel like happens every year, of the COD cycle of the hype and then playing the game and the honeymoon and then saying the game's trash and then being like, oh, the last COD was so much better. We should go back. I miss it. The rose tinted goggles. But what I mean with the COD dilemma here is that you have people who are always saying, oh, COD was always bad. It sucks. It's been garbage. It doesn't play right. And I feel like some of those people, outside of just, not really playing the game or, being a fan of other shooters, are being a little disingenuous. And what I mean by that is, as an example I can give you here is, if you ever had Raising Cane's, chicken, it's fast food chain. And really you could do this with other places, but I'm going to use Raising Cane's as an example here. You have the chicken, you have the fries, you have the toast, and you have the coleslaw. But then you also have the sauce, right? The sauce. That's what everyone talks about. It's the sauce. The chicken's fine. Fries or whatever. The coleslaw is bad. And the toast is pretty good. But you have that sauce. And I feel like COD is like the same thing, right? Where you have all these things that are bad about it. But at the end of the day, they have that sauce. And that sauce for COD is how the game feels. There's a reason why there's a yearly release, and there's a reason why the game's been around as long as it has been, and it's because it's one of the best, if not the best feeling shooter on the market. It always feels like an extension of yourself. You're not playing the character, you're playing the gun. That's how good it feels, right? And that's why people are always going to come back around, and that's why it's going to sell so many copies. And with the recent changes to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, we'll see how that really turns out, but that is a definite topic for another day. But when COD feels good, it feels unmatched. And the shooting, the responsiveness, everything, it just feels perfect, right? Then we get into the conversation of, content creators that are trying to compare apples to oranges when it comes to COD and Battlefield 6. They're completely different games. Sure, they're shooters made in different engines, but they feel completely different. And they're trying to force an argument for these games that are not needed to be had. It just feels so unnecessary. Battlefield is a squad-based game, and you got roles and team play and large-scale combat, but COD is solo-focused unless you're playing like competitively in a squad. You're playing solo, you're grinding for camos, chasing, your kill streaks and you're prestiging. Like that's it for multiplayer, and then you have your sub-community of zombies. And, I guess a thing that COD has over Battlefield. But, Battlefield has a campaign this year. COD has a campaign. And I've heard nothing but good things about the campaign for Battlefield. The new one. But it's just, at the end of the day, it's just about which experience, like, you're in the mood for. It just, right now, with Black Ops 7, you have 3 camps. You have one camp that absolutely hates it. And they're just bashing and bashing and bashing. And then you have one camp that absolutely is shilling out for it. This is the best COD ever. Oh my God. This is the next best thing. Like, please play the game, you know, subliminally, like, please play the game. And then you have the next group that's like constructive feedback, telling you that it feels like Black Ops 6. It's a $70 DLC, but at the end of the day, it's Call of Duty and it feels good. And if that's what you like, then that's what you like, right? But you have to be the deciding factor on whether or not that $70 is worth it. I don't really have too much else to say on, you know, Black Ops 7, and I'm not entirely sure if I'll make a video after I, you know, get a little more hands-on with it and play it myself. But it's just so funny seeing the utter failure of this COD Next event into this beta that seems to not be getting the player base that they were looking for, you know, but we'll see again once it goes open on Sunday. You know, it just feels like the 2010s when, you know, Battlefield and Call of Duty were releasing at the same time with their launches. It's just we always get back here, you know. But what do you think about it? You know, are you going to get this Call of Duty? Are you not? Are you one of the people that are like, "Oh, I'm so excited for October 10th, you know, Battlefield 6." You see a trailer for Black Ops 7 and you go, "This is my reason, another reason for me to buy Battlefield 6." You know, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Genuinely, I want to know, like, what camp are you in? Are you a hater? Are you a shill? You know, or are you in that middle camp where it's like, you know, when COD feels good, it feels good, and if there are things that I like, then maybe I'll pick it up. Or, you know, are you just like, I'm not really into COD, I have nothing against it, I'm just going to play Battlefield 6 and I'm just watching this dumpster fire from a distance? But yeah, let me know. Genuinely, I'm curious. And if you like this kind of me rambling style content, let me know, and I'd love to find a topic that you're interested in that I can look into and just kind of ramble about. Once again, it's me, Jay Parm, and if you liked what you saw here, be sure to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.